Russia's war against Ukraine has now lasted longer than Russia's war against Germany in the Second World War. At the same time, Russia is claiming Iranian drone designs as their own. This is what you need to know about the latest events in the conflict. On January 11, 2026, President Volodymyr Zelensky stood before cameras and delivered words that sent shockwaves around the world. Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine had officially lasted as long as Nazi Germany's entire war against the Soviet Union, 1,418 days. The same number of days it took Hitler's armies to march from Operation Barbarossa to total surrender in Berlin. Zelensky's message was clear and devastating. He said they wanted to repeat, and did repeat, the mockery of people. Russia repeated fascism. Think about that for a moment. The Soviet Union fought Nazi Germany with the combined industrial might of Britain, America, and the entire Allied coalition. Tens of millions died. Now, Ukraine has endured the same duration of total war, but without Allied boots on the ground, without a D-Day, without a massive second front to relieve the pressure. And as this grim anniversary passed, the situation on the ground was about to get significantly worse. Just 3 days before Zelensky's address, Russia launched what Ukrainian officials are now calling the most devastating attack on Kyiv's critical infrastructure since the war began. On the night of January 8th, 242 drones and 36 missiles descended on the Ukrainian capital. The assault included something terrifying: Russia's Oreshnik intermediate-range ballistic missile, a nuclear-capable weapon used for only the second time in this conflict. The explosions began at 11:45 in the evening. By 3 in the morning, cruise missiles were screaming over the city. Fires broke out across multiple districts. The Comfort Town apartment complex was ablaze. A shopping center in Desnyansky district was hit. Then came the double-tap strike, a war crime tactic in which attackers wait for first responders to arrive before striking again. Serhiy Smolyak, a 56-year-old paramedic rushing to help survivors, was killed in that second wave. The final toll: 4 dead, 25 wounded, including 5 medics and 5 rescuers. But the real damage was to the city itself. Nearly 6,000 apartment buildings lost heat as temperatures plunged to -8 degrees Celsius, with forecasts warning of -23 degrees Celsius to come. 417,000 households lost power. 2 thermal power plants serving both banks of the capital were struck. Half of Kyiv was freezing in the dark. Mayor Vitaly Klitschko issued an extraordinary plea: if you can leave the city, leave now. But the January assault revealed something else, something that changes the entire equation. Ukrainian military intelligence confirmed that Russia has deployed a brand new weapon, the Geran 5 jet-powered strike drone. This is not a modification. This is an evolution. The geran 5 stretches 6 meters long, nearly twice the length of the propeller-driven Shaheds that have terrorized Ukraine for years. It carries a 90-kilogram warhead and can strike targets up to 1,000 kilometers away. Most critically, it uses a Chinese-manufactured Telefly jet engine that pushes it 2 to 3 times faster than previous models. Where the old Shahed drones cruised at 170 kilometers per hour, giving defenders precious minutes to react, the geran 5 compresses that window dramatically. Speed matters. Ukrainian analysts say this drone closely resembles Iran's Karar system. The intelligence assessment is blunt. This unmanned aerial vehicle can hardly be considered an indigenous Russian development. In other words, Moscow's drone war is being powered by technology from Tehran and Beijing, assembled in Russian factories, churning out over 5,000 drones per month. It matters because Ukraine has developed cost-effective interceptor drones to counter the Shahed swarms. Those interceptors cost around $2,000 and travel at 340 kilometers per hour. The Geran 5 potentially outruns them. Interceptors may no longer have the advantage. Then there's Sumy. Intelligence reports confirm that Russia has massed between 50,000 and 65,000 troops along the border with this northeastern Ukrainian region. Russian forces have already pushed 5 kilometers from the town of Kotin, just 15 kilometers north of Sumy city. Since January 2025, Russian troops have conducted multiple cross-border incursions, capturing villages and establishing footholds. In December, they committed an atrocity that constitutes a war crime under the Geneva Convention. 50 civilians, mostly elderly residents, who refused evacuation, were forcibly deported to Russia from the village of Rabovsky. However, Western analysts at the Institute for the Study of War assess this as cognitive warfare rather than preparation for a major offensive. Russia has actually redeployed elite airborne units away from Sumy to higher priority fronts. The cross-border attacks may be designed to stretch Ukrainian resources and manipulate Western perceptions of a collapsing front line ahead of peace negotiations. But for the 56,000 civilians already evacuated from Sumy Oblast, and for the residents still sheltering in the remaining villages, the distinction between cognitive warfare and actual warfare means nothing when the shells are falling. 1,418 days. A new jet-powered drone in the skies. Troops are massing at the border. The deadliest infrastructure attack Kyiv has ever faced. And a president who stood before his nation and said plainly, Russia has repeated fascism. Come back tomorrow for more updates.